Junior, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jesse, can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
It's amazing.
Amazing. Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month to you, too.
Thank you, buddy.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm black. He black.
He black. You sound kind of white.
I know. That's why I thought I'd let you know, just so it'd be clear.
He white. No.
But, yeah, I've been listening to your show for about a year and a half now.
Uh-huh.
I'm 23 years old, and I moved out of my parents' house about a year ago.
Amazing. What took you so long?
Well, I went to college, and I was living at college for 4 years, still trying to get my money back. But
I don't blame you.
I moved out, after listening to you because, I realized, I was too close to my mother. It wasn't good for me.
Yeah.
And I needed to, go out and live in the world. But my question for you is, I know you say we don't have free will, and I actually I had that realization when I was about 14 or so.
Uh-huh.
I really couldn't figure things out. I was, things really didn't make sense to me. I didn't know why I was the way I was, and I kind of realized, hey, I really don't have any free will. But, so long story short, I'm out on my own now, and I'm trying to plan my life. But, I don't know what you would say to that. Like, do you think that a man should at least have a vision or a goal for his life, or what would you say to that?
When you say you're trying to plan your life, what do you mean? What are you doing to plan your life?
Like, I'm working right now, but just kind of odd jobs, picking up work here and there just to pay the bills. But, I don't really have a career going, and I really don't know, like, what I should do in terms of a career or, where I should live, if I should stay in San Diego or, really things like that, like what kind of person I want to be in 3 years or 5 years down the road.
I got you. Number one, you should never, ever, 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 Mamma Mia, never, hola, never, Galatians, you should never plan your life because you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You don't know what is in store for you. So if you plan your life, you're going to take it a different direction, and you're going to have a lot of stress and worry and concern and try to be like others, and you're just bringing trouble on yourself. You're already living your life. You shouldn't plan your life. You should live your life. And as far as careers, you have a job. You say you're working, so you have a career. You're working, you're paying your bills, you're saving 10%, you have your life, and then by saving 10%, opportunities will come where you can invest, either buy apartment or a house or something, and one thing will lead to another. You don't want to plan your life, you want to live your life. Because you can't plan your life. It doesn't make sense.
Well, so one of the reasons I say that is, before I started waking up, there were a lot of bad habits that I picked up along the way.
Yes.
Yes. Like drinking, smoking, all that kind of mess. And, I learned not to hate it, but it doesn't seem to be getting better, So that's why.
When you say getting better, what do you mean?
Well, I'm still drinking and smoking and lusting after women and things like that. And, it's gotten me into some trouble, but, not crazy trouble, but, I know that that's not right. Like, I know if I want to call myself, a child of God, that the anger and things that are causing that to happen, I've got to overcome.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to overcome it unless I have something like a bigger goal in mind.
That's not the way to overcome things. No one who has a bigger goal overcome anything.
It's not?
No.
Huh.
Did you, are you doing a silent prayer?
I actually did it this morning right after I woke up.
So this is...
I've heard of it before, but I want to stay with it. I want to do it morning and night, but I did do it this morning.
Well, then suffer until you commit to prayer. You just have to suffer. Suffer! Suffer.
Yeah, well, I mean, I live in San Diego, so not too far away from from Los Angeles where you are, but I do plan on coming up one of these days for church.
Why have you should, man? Why haven't you been doing the silent prayer morning and night? If you've been listening to me for a year at least, you have heard me talk about you got to commit to the prayer.
I mean, I'm pretty stubborn, I guess.
Well, then suffer. I have a shirt that says "Suffer and Die."
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right.
Because it's a spiritual battle, Junior, and there's nothing you can do about it. You have to submit yourself by admitting you're wrong and let go, and God will do the rest. And have you forgiven your mother?
I have not.
Well, no wonder, man.
Well, so here's the thing.
Why haven't you gone to your mother and forgiven her?
I went to visit my family in April, around Easter time.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to forgive my mother and my father, but I didn't find the right opportunity. I didn't want to force it. Like, I really was willing to do it. And actually, a couple months ago, just something happened, and I just found it in me to call my dad and to apologize for the resentment that I truly had for him.
Why did you resent your father?
It was exactly because of what you said. It was my mother, and I don't think she wanted to, or
it was your mother what?
Doing, but my mother really did turn me against him. Even though, she'd always tell me when I was growing up, she would say, I tell you these things about your father, not so that you would hate him, but so that you would, be there to support him. And
what an evil woman.
All this crap, yeah. I mean, but I know that she can't help it, and I know I need to forgive her. I'm just waiting for the right time, and I plan on going in the next month or so to visit my family. They live in Northern California.
What did your father say when you apologized for resenting him?
He said he understood, and he said he forgave me, and
he forgave you.
Right. Well, he didn't say I forgive you, but he said it's all right. Like, he said it's okay, and
So are you afraid to deal with your mother?
I am.
And that's why you're putting it off.
Yeah.
And that's why you're putting it off. But Junior, you're not going to be free until you go and face your mother, because once you face her, you'll get your courage back that you had prior to the trauma that she put you through, that she brought upon you. And so, but you got to face your mother, and you had an opportunity to do that the last time you saw her, but you were just afraid to do it. So you just made up an excuse, I don't have an opportunity.
Right. But again, like if so, for example, like if we don't have free will, then, I shouldn't plan to forgive her, right? Like, and I don't want to do it over the phone. I really don't.
Right. No, you need to face her because you're afraid of her. So you need to shake in your boots, but you don't apologize to her. Oh, sorry, I was bad. I'm sorry for the things I did to you. You need to say, I'm sorry for resenting you for the things you did to me. And if she asks what, just say, you turned me away from my father. You pretend you were not, but you were. And I resented you for that. And whatever else you did. But you say, hey, so I'm just sorry for resenting you, because it's the resentment that's causing you to suffer today. It separates you from God. And God is not going to allow you back into the kingdom of heaven within until you forgive. You got to face your mother.
Right.
For right now, the reason you are having your little issues now is because you're still in darkness and you can't see. But once you forgive, God will draw you back in, and He'll cause the unrighteousness to disappear. The drinking, the sexing, and all that.
Right. One follow-up question. When we forgive, like when I forgave my father, and our relationship, by the way, is so much better now.
Yeah.
It was genuine forgiveness. I don't want to have to go to my mother and, just say the words, I forgive you for, what you did and tell her what she did and don't apologize but forgive. I want to do that, but I want to do it in a genuine way.
What do you mean by a genuine way?
Well, I want to do it not because you told me to or because I heard it, but because I know deep down that is what is right.
So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, so just suffer until you're ready to forgive.
Right.
You're coming up with all this stuff, so just suffer until you're ready to forgive. There's not one thing a human being can do for you at this point.
Right.
You already know what to do. You're afraid to do it, so you listen to Satan and you come up with all this stuff. Because once you see that, you already explained to us what your mother did. She turned you away from your father. And Lord knows what else, right? And you already know, and so as soon as you know what she did, straightway you should forgive. Go and forgive her. But you're scared, so you make it, Satan is keeping you away. Otherwise, you're going to want to write a note to her.
Well, no, I'm not going to do that. When I do forgive her, I'm going to do it in person.
But you already know that you already see that you need to forgive her because you said she turned you away from your father.
Right. So you're saying I shouldn't wait until I can do it in person? I should just call her up or FaceTime her and do it now?
I mean, if you can FaceTime her, you should FaceTime her. But I wouldn't be putting it off tomorrow for what you can do today because tomorrow is not promised to you. And you don't want to drop your body with anger, believe me. You're not going to where you think you're going.
Right. Well, shoot, man. I think you're right.
Are you still, Are you living with a woman?
No, I'm living by myself.
Oh, okay. You need to face your mother, man. You already know what you need to forgive her for. Don't be afraid. I mean, you got to be afraid, but it'll be the last time you experience fear.
You don't think it's like a cowardly way out to do it via FaceTime?
Are you going to be looking at her? She's going to be looking at you?
Oh, yeah.
It's up to you if you want to go. It's better to do it in person, but when God made that statement, they didn't have FaceTime.
That is true.
But it's up to you.
All right.
But it's best for you to face her because you're going to be right there. You're going to really have to deal with her wrath.
Yeah.
Are you surprised how afraid you are of her?
Well, not really. Yes, not really.
You've always known you.
I don't want her to misunderstand me or, to hurt her. I know these are all excuses.
You don't want her to misunderstand you or hurt her feelings?
Right.
Beta male. Beta male. Why are you concerned about feelings? Feelings is nothing. They just come and go. That's a woman's nature. Why are you concerned about feelings? Women control men with their feelings.
Yeah.
And men should love women. Men should love women enough to help them overcome feelings by making them face their feelings and overcoming them. Don't cater to feelings. That's ridiculous.
Right. Right.
She doesn't care about your feelings.
That kind of reminds me of your biblical question. If I could answer that real quick.
Which is worse, physical or verbal abuse?
I was thinking about this, and I think a couple days ago I realized that there's no such thing as verbal abuse. You know what I mean? Like I can call you names right now, or call you an Uncle Tom. All the stuff that they've been calling you for years now. But it's only if you're weak enough to let that affect you that becomes abuse. But I don't think there's no such thing as verbal abuse. It's just a weak person, being hurt by it.
So which is worse?
I guess in a similar way, like I shouldn't worry about if I'm forgiving my mother, how she would feel about it, whether it's verbal abuse, whether she thinks it's verbal abuse or whatever it is.
So which is worse, physical or verbal?
I think physical then.
Okay, I appreciate that, man. It's so interesting hearing you speak right now, being a male, how afraid you are of your mother. And if you don't overcome that by dealing with her, women will control you. Because if you don't have the courage to deal with your mother, you would not have the courage to deal with any woman. And they will have you doing things that you never imagined you would do. And then they'll hate you for it.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're right.
You got to go and deal with her, Junior.
I do. You know, I think I'll FaceTime her next opportunity that I get.
Are you
when she's
afraid
not
to
at work.
face? Are you afraid to even talk to her on FaceTime too?
No, not now.
But you were.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, and she may build an army against you because most women, excuse me, most women and men who have women natures, when they rather than admitting that they're wrong and so that they can overcome, they'll build an army against you. They'll go and lie on you and tell family members, "Oh, he did this, and I can't believe he talking about he forgiving me," in order because she won't be able to stand on her own. So if she build an army against you, that's fine. Just tell the family, bye. Family, bye.
Yeah.
All right, so.
No, I hear you, Jesse. I think.
But you're never
what you're
gonna
saying is true.
become a man until you overcome the nature of the woman. Right now, you truly have the nature of your mother, the mindset, the emotions, because it's not normal for a man to be afraid to deal with his mother or any woman or any man, but especially a woman.
Right. And I mean, part of the reason too that I think, like for me, that it's important. I have a younger sister.
Yes.
And I know that at this point, I have to be an example for her. You know, not tell her how to live her life or anything like that, but you know, she has to have someone to look up to.
She still lives at home?
I mean, yeah, she's still in high school.
Oh, okay.
She's graduating next year, so, you know, she's probably going to be going off to college and doing her own thing, but...
it's too bad your father have not protected her from her mother. It's really his job and not yours.
Yeah, I mean, my parents are actually still together. Been together over 20 years now.
But still, he didn't protect you from your mother, and he's not protecting your sister.
Right. He's definitely a beta.
Beta male.
But you know, but it's okay. I mean, I don't hold it against him or anything like that.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Yeah, you haven't gone and forgiven your mother yet. Oh, you mean you don't hold it against your father being a beta male?
Right.
Oh,
like,
I got
don't
you.
judge him for it or anything like that.
Now you don't. That you have forgiven him. But go and forgive and let me know how it goes, Junior.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll tell you in person when I come up to LA.
Okay, and do the silent prayer. There are guys and ladies who come from San Diego all the time.
Yeah.
So I look forward to seeing you, but you really need to do the silent prayer morning and night, and you need to speak up, but you can't speak up until you forgive your mother. You don't have the courage.
Right.
How old are you?
23.
Amazing. You're young, Junior. Go and forgive.
All right.
And then all that other stuff will start to fall away. God will cleanse the unrighteousness stuff away from you. He will take away the lusting, the drugs, and the alcohol, whatever you're doing. He'll remove that from you.
Right.
All right?
All right.
All right, buddy.
All right, Jesse. I appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month to you, too. Take it easy.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Amazing. Isn't that amazing, Joe?